What would you say if I told you you're probably using this incorrectly? Over the last 25 years, I've seen so many people that were never taught the proper way to do this, and it's not your fault. What we're going to do is go over the right way, how to use your incentive spirometer. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm David. We're going to go over the right way to use your incentive spirometer. Now, the purpose of this is to try to expand your lungs. And you've probably had one of these after a hospital stay, or you've heard about it or seen one in a video or on Facebook or any of the other social medias, and you wanted to try one. So maybe you bought one on Amazon and you still are not sure how to use it. Today, we're going to go over the right way to use this. The purpose of this is to expand your lungs, especially after hospitalization or even during your hospitalization if you've been lying around. Because normally walking will expand your lungs, and if you're not really walking, you need something that will mimic that. And that's what this incentive spirometer does. So let's go over some of the simple steps to start with. The first one is your position. You want to sit up and make sure that your body's nice and straight and you're comfortable. Then you're going to hold the spirometer. There's this little section here that you hold your hand. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the mouthpiece. Now there's a little clip here that it goes in to keep it protected, and it goes out. And then you just spin it. There's corrugated tubing that goes along here. This can go in and it can stretch out. So what you're going to do is hold it roughly, maybe about this height. You don't want it way up here so your chin is going up, and you don't want it way down here so your chin is down. Either one of those is going to constrict your windpipe, your trachea. We don't want that. So what you're going to do is, and I'll explain it first and then I'm going to show you. You're going to put the mouthpiece in your mouth and create a nice tight seal with your lips. Then you're going to inhale slowly and deeply through the mouthpiece. And the funny thing is, so many people say, oh, is that the thing I blow out into? No, it's the exact opposite. I want you to think of this as like a big milkshake, and you want to draw it in through a really long straw. And it's that deep, slow inhalation is what we're looking for. So what you're going to do is, you're going to inhale slowly, consistently in a nice steady breath, and not fast. We don't want to and breathe in, because then all the air is going to be right around here. We want to get the air down to the bottom of our lungs, and that's where all the action is taking place. And then you're going to hold your breath. You're going to try for about 5 seconds. The valve is still going to fall, but that's okay. And then lastly, you're just going to exhale slowly. So the first thing you're going to do, let's try it. So you're going to put it in your mouth. You're going to breathe in. And let the air out. Now notice when I tried to hold it, the valve on this side still kept falling down, and that's okay. It's going to happen. The other critical component of this is the flow. So this large one is the volume of air that you're getting into the lungs. This one on this side is the flow. You don't want it to go too quickly, and you don't want it to go too slowly. You want to keep it right in the clear. Some of them have a smile face area and a sad face on the top and the bottom, whichever yours has. And some of them also have balls in the middle that you're trying to get. They call it a tri-flow. It has 3 balls. You're trying to get all 3 balls up. Whatever you're using, it's okay. It's the same technique, just different pieces of equipment. So what you're going to do is, again, we're going to go now. You don't want to go too fast. This is what a lot of people do when they first get it. And this one is going to the top. But notice that the volume that you're getting into your lungs, because remember, the purpose of this is to expand your lungs. It's called sustained maximal inhalation, and that's what this is trying to do. So what we're going to do is, instead of this, where the flow is high and the volume is low, we want to reverse those, and we want the volume to go up as the flow stays steady. So here we go. Let's try it again. And then let the air out. It's challenging. I can feel it too. So what we're going to do is, I want you to try these. Now, let's say you're sedentary, you're not moving around. You had an injury, or you're laying in bed, or you're laying on the couch a lot. Then you want to try to do this, maybe 6 to 10 breaths every hour while you're awake. Now, the volume that you're doing is probably going to be recommended by your doctor or your respiratory therapist, whoever you're seeing. And you don't want to worry about how high you go up initially. It's more about consistency. We want to get a nice steady volume repeatedly to expand your lungs. And as your respiratory muscles get stronger, you can increase the volume on this. Okay? So that's the number of times, and then the volume. Now there's a little slider here, and that you can slide up and down based on what you're trying to. And that's the incentive part of this. You're trying to get to that number right here. Okay? On average, people go anywhere from 500 to 1500, depending on what their functional capacity is, what their lung function is. Don't worry. Also, when you do a cough, you may notice that this will increase. And the other way is, you may do this, and when you're holding your breath, trying to keep this one up at the top, you may generate a cough. And that's okay. We want to get the air below any phlegm that's in there and help it come out. So again, this is all about lung expansion. It's going to expand your lungs and improve your lung function by really encouraging some deep, steady inhalation. And when is it mostly used? It's after surgery. If you have any respiratory condition that you need expansion in your lungs, or you're trying to build up your respiratory muscles, this is a good tool, because not only does it allow you to do it, but it gives you a number. It quantifies the volume of air that you're doing. Okay, so we're going to try it again, and you're going to take your time. We're going to try to go slowly and keep the flow in mind. So a normal flow, but the highest volume. So let's try it one more time. And remember, making a tight seal, because if your lips are open and air's rushing in, it's not going in. So you're going to go. Some of the important considerations that I want you to think of is that I want you to use proper technique. You want to follow this technique by inhaling deeply, holding your breath at the top for 5 seconds. If you can't hold for 5 seconds, it's okay. Just do whatever you can. With some pulmonary conditions, holding your breath for that long could make you cough. So just be aware of that. Next, we're going to go over some of the cleaning aspects of this, and that's really important. Let's go over the cleaning instructions for your incentive spirometer. So it's going to be daily. I want you to clean it after each use. So you're going to take some of the parts apart. I'm going to show you in a second. And you're going to clean them with just, according to the manufacturer's instructions, they want you to use a little bit of warm soapy water, really rinse it off well, and that's good enough. And then you're going to rinse it and you're going to dry it. And then you're going to, once it's done, you're going to reassemble it and hold it there for storage. So what you're going to do is you're going to take apart this part, which is the corrugated tubing. This comes off. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the mouthpiece, and this will come off. You're going to wash this part and this part. Now what's going to happen is a lot of extra condensation of water is going to go here. So you want to open it up, stretch it out, clean it well, and then you want to really shake it out to get rid of all the water droplets that's going to be in here. Rinse it well. We don't want to have soapy water in here. And then you're going to put it back in, and then you can easily just compress this. So you can have different lengths depending on how far away your arms are and how close you want it. Then you're going to take it, you can wipe down the outside, and then we're going to put it back in. The mouthpieces swivel, so you could have it wherever you want. And one of the cool little nifty features about this is once you stretch it back open is there's a slot right here, and you can just take this and put it just like that. And that way you have a little bit of a holder for this too, and it'll keep it from the mouthpiece flopping all over the place. So these are really important. Regular cleaning of the spirometer is vital to prevent contamination and ensure effective usage. and just read the manufacturer's instructions that you got with it. And I just want you to have fun with this. I want you to try this. This is so important for lung expansion and for building up some pulmonary muscles that you need for everyday work. And this is good. Have fun with it. If you have any questions, leave some comments below. I love questions. And lastly, I just want you to embrace doing this now that you know the right way how to use your incentive spirometer. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm really excited to share this because this is part of our new instructional series. So if you've learned something and have enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. We would love for you to share how this video helped you and leave a comment below. Tell us what you would like to see next. I really love to read your comments. I love to hear from you. And the most important thing is I'm really honored to be able to help you. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.